All right, welcome back, guys, to another episode of Talking Trident, a Mariners podcast. We are back after a couple weeks. It was just too tough of a stretch for the Mariners. That was pissing us off too much.
We just couldn't do it.
We we couldn't record. We had a lot of negative things to say about the Mariners over the past week, and a lot of frustrations after the Angels series, the Orioles series.
Diamondbacks.
Diamondback series, getting swept. Two of those series was rough. I know we have a lot of negative things to say about Dan Wilson and how he's handling the lineups,
The
but a lot of
bullpen.
things that we
Yeah.
think the Mariners can still do going forward. We're recording before Sunday's game, so we've already won the last two games against the Guardians, so we're hopefully getting back on track. But instead of starting off negative, we had a walk-off win last night. Polo walked it off for the Mariners to take 2 out of 3 games of that series. We'll see if we get the sweep today. I don't know, but that's where we're at. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw Mariners get back to the basics these last 2 days. After going 4-12 in the last 16 games, they were able to just play some small ball, make the best of opportunities. We didn't see as many home runs. We saw a lot of, um, you know, we saw a lot of problems on the base pass, but we also saw a lot of good things. Demo tying the game up last night on that wild ball. I mean, that jump was immaculate. I don't know if you saw that. He was
I
already
did.
there
Yeah,
by the time that they had even moved the camera out to
yeah,
to see what was going on. So
yep.
hopefully today Hancock can go out there and pitch a good game, and we can win a series. Oh, we already won the series. We can sweep the series. That'd be really good, especially with the Red Sox coming into town. We got to get that momentum going. So yeah,
Right.
they just got back to the basics, and it was really good to see because we know how talented this baseball team is, and we know how good they can be with the spark. And I think that sparks slowly spark. It's sparking. Spark.
I hope so because the flame ran out before this series, and now I hope, yeah. We know baseball has its ups and downs, but
It's
that
a
was,
marathon, right?
yeah, yeah, but that was a tough stretch, especially after how hot we were for the most part coming into that. So,
Going from the leading the AL West to third place behind the Los Angeles Angels. That was
yeah,
not in my bingo card for the month of June and May.
no, no, definitely not. Um, yeah,
So we obviously, like one of our last videos, we talked about the promotion of Cole Young and how he's been doing. He started off pretty slow, but we've been seeing him pick it up a little bit. What have you seen recently, Devin, out of Cole Young, and what do you expect kind of moving forward with him and his playing time?
well, I'm at a place with Cole Young where, I was super excited to bring him up. He obviously isn't going crazy. He's picked it up a little bit, like you said. He had his debut, the walk off. Everyone was hyped, and then he kind of, didn't really do anything for a few games there. But he's getting hits now. He's playing a solid defense. Where I'm at with the Mariners is I still think where we're at, we give him time at second base. Um, what's his average now? 220s, I
No,
think.
he's only at 209 right now, but in the last
209.
seven he's batting 286. So I mean, he's we're seeing him, in the last 7 games, like I said, 286, 8 hits, and only 5 strikeouts. So we're
Yeah,
kind of seeing him get back to what he did in the minors. He hit the ball hard, he hit the ball often, and he struck out little.
right.
What I don't know if you've noticed this, but he hasn't walked. I think he's walked once this year total.
Yeah, I think that was
And
actually his second game.
yeah,
So
I'd really like him to see his plate discipline go up. I think that's going to be a big part of getting his game back to the caliber he can play at.
right.
If we see him, take some pitches, fight off some more pitches, he might even get some better pitches, and then who knows? We'll see his first home run of his young career. So,
I
like
hope
you
so.
said, there's a lot of things to look up to, and I think he's on track to become a productive member of the lineup like we expect him to be.
Yeah, he has a lot of upside, obviously. But an interesting thing is we saw Polo start and play second base a couple games
Mm-hmm.
ago,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think we're going to be seeing him at third base ever again. So
No,
that
definitely not.
so that just means there's a future or an opportunity where Polo could play second base if Cole Young struggles or
Mm.
doesn't really pick it up going forward this season. And I think there is a future where Cole Young could get sent back down. But I think for now, we leave him there and we give him his at bats and give him his reps, see what happens for a longer stretch. Um,
Yeah, I say the only reason that would even be in the conversation is if, I mean, he's hitting well below 200. He's not just not having good at bats, anything like that. Polo, I mean, at second base is great. We've seen him the last 7 games pick it up and kind of continue what he started the season with.
right.
I don't see that happening unless the Mariners, go out and acquire somebody that can kind of fill that gap. I mean, Cole Young, solid defender, young kid. You got to give him his at bats. Unless
Yeah.
those at bats are taken away, he's not going to lose that opportunity. So, um, I really hope he can figure it out, become that the guy we saw down in AAA the month of May. That'd be amazing. But time will tell.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Yeah, I hope that is the case. So for now, I'm leaving him there. Get his at bats, and I think the season going forward will tell. I think once we get closer to the All Star break and kind of the midway point of the season, after he's maybe had a full over a month of playing time,
Mm.
um, maybe closer to 2 months. I think that'll tell kind of where he
Yeah.
stands this season.
And I think that's
So
that's kind of the ideal outcome because if once he gets to his 2 month mark, we're getting close to trade deadline conversation.
right,
Because he debuted what was it like near the like 20th of May, and when we get to like the 20th of June or sorry July, we're gonna be talking about the trade deadline heavily. So
right,
I think that's gonna be a tell sign if the Mariners are gonna be aggressive for a second baseman or maybe even a DH so Polo can get more reps at second base.
yeah.
It's definitely going to be something interesting to watch as we move forward this season and see where they are. I mean, finally getting back over, well, not finally, but getting back over 500 is important. That's a good first step. So,
Yeah, and I know we have a lot of thoughts about what the Mariners should do at the trade deadline and moves that we need to make then, but I think we're going to save that for a future video once we get a little
mhm,
bit closer,
yeah, still a little far away to tell and see what's
and
going to
see where
happen
we're at.
because
We love to speculate about
the speculations are
what
in our minds and
what the Mariners should
online
do,
as well, man.
who the Mariners should acquire, but yeah, we'll save that for down the road. But at this point, I think Cole Young's going to be there. One of my main topics that has frustrated me over the past uh, couple weeks at this point is Dylan Moore and
Mm,
the first base, then the Mariners' first base position. I mean, we've seen Rowdy Tellez now get pretty much the majority of the playing time at
mm,
first base, where Dylan Moore has gotten very little to almost no playing time anywhere. We've
yeah,
seen too when he does start and he's in the lineup, he only gets like two at bats, and then Dan Wilson makes a move to pinch hit someone in his place. I The Mariners need to address first base in my opinion
mm,
at the deadline. That's a conversation for later on, but at this moment where the Mariners roster stands, I don't see how Dylan Moore cannot be playing. He's a Gold Glove utility player, so he can play first
mm,
base. Why he's hitting better? He's slumped a little bit, but that's because he's not getting consistent at bats recently. I think he can be our first baseman right now for the time being, or he can play right field. Or and my stance on Donovan Solano. I think you need to keep Solano on the team,
mm.
and I think we need to
Yeah,
get
especially with how he's been playing lately. I mean, he's finally picked it up to the caliber we expect. So,
right and. He's a successful veteran presence. I think we need to keep him. I think he's valuable. Rowdy Tellez is not valuable. I think we need to get rid of Rowdy Tellez. And we saw them DFA Leody Taveras recently as well.
mm.
And
And I don't know if everyone else saw that, but he was outrighted to Tacoma, so he will stay within the organization for now.
yeah,
He'll hopefully get some at bats, and we'll see how he makes his way back to the major league roster, if at all.
Yeah, which is good in my opinion. I think he's a good depth
Yeah,
piece. He still has some upside in my opinion. I think,
just that defense. I mean, if
yeah,
you let's say the Mariners make it to October, right? That defense is going to be so valuable late in the game,
right,
so valuable. I mean, you
right,
could put him at center field. If Julio needs a break, you can put him in any outfield position, and he's worth a lot out there.
yeah. So I think his having him as a depth piece is great for this team. I like that actually a lot. Plus, if you want to go to a Rainiers game, you can see him there. So
Yeah, there you go. You
um,
saw him last night, didn't
it,
you?
I did, yeah, it's cool. Kind of weird seeing him down there, but along with Luke Rayleigh. But yeah. So that means Dom Canzone is up, which is fine. Um, but I still think Dylan Moore, you need to find a way to get him in the lineup with who we have currently. I think he's a better option than a lot of guys in right field and a lot of and Rowdy Tellez at first base. I
Yeah,
mean,
we saw Dylan Moore start the season on a tear too. He was getting a
yeah,
lot of playing time since Polo was not feeling 100%. We didn't have Ben Williamson up, we didn't have Cole Young up at that time.
right,
His at bats have been taken away, and like you said,
yeah,
it's difficult for a player to uh, play consistently and to play at the caliber they're expected to play at. In his last 15 games, Dylan Moore only has 31 at bats.
yeah,
He's also batting under 100 in those 15 games, which is unacceptable. But there's clearly a reason for it. He's not getting that playing time. You mentioned getting him in right field and first base. I think that's where his at bats are right now. Cole Young's going to take a bulk of the second base time with, like you said, Polo doing a little bit. Ben Williamson's been a solid defender this year, so why would you take him out of third base unless you're just giving him a day off? Um, right field, like you said, Canzone. First base, Rowdy Tellez and Solano. I think Dylan Moore is going to get most of his at bats in those two positions. So um, we need him to turn it around. We've talked about how good this team can be with him going on, especially as an all-star utility player, essentially. Um, but we got to give him more playing time, see what he can do.
yeah. I mean, exactly. Like, yes, he's like you said, he's hitting what 180 over his last 15 games.
Less, he's hitting 97 right now
Point
in his last
zero
15
nine
games.
seven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's unacceptable for sure. But like you said, and I said, it's because of his at bats and his
Mm-hmm.
consistency. I mean, he's not getting playing time, so when they do throw him in there, they play him what once every like few games, and then he gets two
Mm-hmm.
at bats, and then that's it. So mentally and just you have to see your reps, and so that's why
Yeah,
I don't understand Dan Wilson. What are you doing? Why is Dylan Moore not? I'm not crazy about Dylan Moore. I don't love him, but he as who we have,
but he deserves to play 120
yeah,
games a year. I mean,
yeah, he's the best option that we have. I mean, isn't that why you have him as a depth piece utility guy? So if we have injuries, you have another solid guy to put in. Well, we have injuries and he still doesn't play, so I don't
mhm.
understand what's going on there.
Yeah, I was just refreshing the computer trying to see if he's in the lineup today, but the lineup's not posted. So
Yeah.
with a righty, we're going up against LL Ortiz today. I don't anticipate Dylan Moore being in the lineup, but we got to get him playing time. He had his playing time early in the year, and his playing excelled. I mean, he was hitting home runs left and right, stealing bases,
Right.
as well as playing a solid defense. So hopefully we see him in the lineup more. I mean, I think that's something that we have to do. Canzone's a great option against righties, so he'll probably be in the lineup today. Tellez hit a bomb. What was it? Was it yesterday or on Friday? So
Yeah,
I think he'll be in
Friday.
the lineup today.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that leaves a spot for Dylan Moore, but yeah, I think we'll see him in the lineup more often than not, sooner than later. Because like you said, where's the other options at?
Yeah, but Tellez is barely hitting over 200. And
Yeah,
okay, he hits a home run like once a week, but
yeah.
like I don't know, it's terrible. I don't know. It just pisses me off. Like why we have limited options already, and why are we not utilizing,
Mm.
at least in my opinion, the best option that we have? And what is his fascination with Rowdy Tellez? Like what does he think? I think Rowdy Tellez is this is like what we're gonna see. I mean, I don't think he's gonna get any
Hmm.
better. Like
Yeah, we've seen what Rowdy Tellez offers. He's going to bat
so.
around 200. He's going to hit maybe 20 bombs, 30 bombs a year, and he's going to play a defense that's acceptable. I
Yeah, his
mean, nothing
defense
more
is
than
all
that.
right. I mean, he's a big
Yeah,
target at first, so that's good.
yeah. That's the best part, probably, right? I mean,
Yeah, but like
we remember that game where he had a guy bounce off of at first base. Maybe that
he just
Dan
couldn't.
Wilson saw that and he's like, "That's our guy.
Yeah.
That's our guy right there."
Right, but I don't know. And I know first base is the what we need to address at the deadline, but
That's our problem child of the
I just
lineup
don't
right
know
now.
why we can't make a decision quicker and get rid of Tellez and um, just have Dylan Moore play there. But
Yeah.
anyway, I think we beat that um, to death. So
Well, let's beat something else to death then, because I have a take that we should do. Cal Raleigh, best catcher in the league, right?
easy.
Hitting 26 bombs. You know his OPS is near 1,000, which is just incredible. Mitch Garver, one of the worst catchers in the league.
Yeah,
He's a guy that we're paying $12 million to play once, maybe twice a week
and
to
strike out every at bat on
to
those days
strike
he
out.
does
Yeah,
play.
every at bat. His only home run of the year was illegitimate because it was against a position player. Um, I think it's time to get rid of Garver. I think Garver has done, like you said, like with Rowdy, he's shown what he can offer, and he doesn't offer exactly what we need. And we also have some guy named Harry Ford in the minor league system who's killing it currently. He did you say he had what, two doubles last night?
Yeah, he had two doubles. He played great last night. He was driving the ball. He caught. Yeah, I think he looks ready to me. I mean,
Yeah,
we gave Cole Young a shot when he uh, basically had similar numbers to Harry Ford in terms of offense. So
Harry Ford had better numbers in the month of May. I
yeah,
mean,
that's true. So what's the holdup? I know that.
he has two grand slams this year. He's hitting the ball with authority. He's
Yeah.
pulling the ball with authority,
Yep.
which is something we have not seen across all levels this year.
Yeah.
I think I think it's time to call Harry Ford up.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but we saw the Mariners eat Mitch Haniger's contract. That was not easy.
Right.
We've seen the Mariners pick up Tavares, eat that contract when they sent him down. That probably wasn't easy to do. What's any different with Garver? I think there's a possibility that Garver has some value to a team. You know, he's not a horrible catcher. You know, he's thrown out a guy before. I've seen it happen.
Oh,
He's
whoa,
shown that he
whoa!
can
You threw
hit.
out one guy. That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe I think it was only one guy this year, but I mean, he can play, right? I think there's a world where Mitch Garver has at least the mildest trade value where you don't have to eat all of his money. Because let's see, we're about what over a third of the way through the season, so he's still probably owed around 7 million this year, which is crazy to say for your
Hmm.
backup catcher. But if there's a world out there where you can get rid of him, maybe pay him half of whatever he's remaining, a team takes on the other half. You bring up Harry Ford and you find a way to get him in the lineup.
Yep.
Um, Harry Ford, obviously, is a catcher by trade, and that's not going to change from what we've seen. But Cal Raleigh, I mean, we need to keep that guy healthy too for long term. We have him for 7 more years,
Yeah.
and what's the better way to keep him healthy than to get him less games behind the plate? Even if you give Harry Ford 2 games a week, that's going to help Cal Raleigh long term way more than what we're doing currently.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, if Cal Raleigh can DH, obviously he's a platinum glove catcher, but as of right now, his most value to our team and our winning is his bat. So if we can
Mm-hmm.
get him even a couple uh, games at DH a week, and Harry Ford can catch a couple games, I think that's better in the long run as well. The only issue, I agree. I think I want to get rid of Mitch Garver. We did it with Haniger. Let's do it with Garver now. You have to. And Harry Ford is ready. I would love to see what he can offer. The only problem is, to me, is if Harry Ford is up. Obviously, you want to try to get him at bats. Okay, he can catch a
Mm-hmm.
couple games a week. Cal Raleigh's going to DH. Where does Polo go? He has to go to second then, right? Because he's
Mm-hmm.
DHing. Where does Cole Young go? To the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Where if Cal's catching, Harry Ford DHs Polo to second and Cole Young to the bench. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like there's maybe I I don't want to say there's not room for him because there is, but it's just someone
Mm-hmm.
then is going to have to get less at bats, and who would you rather have that be, Harry Ford or Cole Young at this point?
And I think that's a good point because the Mariners community has been pretty adamant that Mariners bring up prospects too young or too early sometimes, and we've seen Ben Williamson come up. He's had his struggles, but he's playing consistently. We've seen Cole Young come up, have his struggles. Hopefully, he gets to that consistency that we need. But I don't see what the difference could be with Harry Ford. Young players need at bats, and we've talked about that. If you don't get at bats, just like Demo, you slump. I mean, it's just part of the game.
Right.
I think there's enough at bats in the week that you can get Harry Ford where it'll make him successful. He's a right-handed batter, so imagine if let's say we're facing a lefty one day, you put Polo in at second base, Cole Young sits against a lefty for that lefty-lefty matchup, and then you have Harry Ford at either DH or catcher. I think that's kind of the most realistic way. He gets more at bats than just a backup catcher, a traditional backup catcher role, and I think that's okay. I mean, that would give him, let's say, 4 games a week he's playing for sure, and then maybe a pinch hit opportunity here and there. He's playing too damn good down in AAA to not be brought up, and it really frustrates me that the Mariners jumped the gun on Ben Williamson, jumped the gun on Cole Young, and well, maybe not jumped the gun on Cole Young, but you know what I mean. They brought him up because of his hot streak.
Mm-hmm.
What's any different than Harry Ford? There's nothing different, and we've already eaten other contracts. Eat Garver's too. He's not on the team beyond this year, so he has no value on your team other than purely just, we're paying him, might as well keep him. But no.
No. And I think we're at a point in the season too where we're obviously not as hot as we were, and we're not in as big. Well, obviously we're not in first place anymore, so we're now. It's not like our team is having crazy success and we're in a runaway lead in the division where it's like, okay, well, we're winning with Garver, so might as well just like keep him,
Yeah, we're chasing right now.
Yeah,
we're chasing.
exactly. And I agree with you. I think Harry Ford it's time to call him up, and he will offer more to the team than Mitch Garver will. And what's different? Like you said, what's different? We got.
I don't think there is anything
Cole
different.
Young,
Harry Ford
Ben
has shown
Williamson.
that he can hit.
Now it's Harry Ford. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
I know that we've seen a lot of Mariners fans, talking about that recently. When are they going to do? What are they going to do with Harry Ford? Are they going to trade him? Are they going to bring him up? Are they just going to keep him in AAA for the rest of his career because Cal Raleigh's so damn good? I don't know, but I think there's one clear option that helps this team the most, and as well as gives this team the most flexibility, and that's bringing Harry Ford up. So,
yeah, agreed. It's time. I hate Mitch Garver. I'm over him.
yeah, we were talking about this the other day too. We had a short a while ago, calling the Geno trade one of the worst trades in Mariners history. Carlos Vargas is helping that out a little bit. He's pitching extremely well, and we're really glad to see that because that trade was so bad. But the last 2 years of Geno's contract, it was like what, $30 million, right? These 2 years of Mitch Garver's contract is $24 million. So you not only traded away a third baseman who is not washed up but can still hit bombs, and against us as well, which hurts it just a little bit more. That grand slam the other day.
Yeah.
But you traded him for little pieces to save money, and then went out and spent money on a worse experiment in Garver.
Yeah.
If they just had kept Suarez, okay. Also, this proves the point that Harry Ford would probably be up by now.
That's true. Yeah.
So I mean, it's just that domino effect was not what we expected, and it was really frustrating to think about that as a Mariners fan.
For sure. Because think about that, we would have Suarez right now at third, and then Harry Ford would be up.
I mean, and even if you want Ben Williamson up, guess what? Suarez is a true DH then.
Yeah.
And maybe you teach Polo how to play first base, and then look at that another domino effect gets him in the lineup too. So the possibilities are endless.
Dude, I wouldn't mind that. Or Suarez at first.
Or exactly. I mean,
Suarez,
the possibilities are
he's a
endless,
bigger body at first than Polo, but I wouldn't mind Polo at first right now.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun, right?
It would be, but
yeah. So we've talked a lot about the what ifs. Let's talk about what has been happening and what's been really good to see. Logan Gilbert has thrown his third rehab assignment. This was last Tuesday for the Rainiers. I was at that game.
You went to two of his starts, right?
Yeah, 2 of his 3 rehab assignments. Yeah, in this last game, he was topping out at 97.
Talking Tridents were doing some scouting and
some reconnaissance.
With
down below.
Logan Gilbert. Yeah, so good job. Thank you for that, sir.
Thank you for your service. You for Harry Ford and me for Logan Gilbert.
Oh yes, sir.
But Gilbert, I think he's going to be back here soon. We saw Logan Evans just be optioned the other day to bring an extra bullpen arm. So right now there's only 4 rotation pieces on the roster. With Logan Gilbert throwing last Tuesday, he went 5 innings, stopped out at 97, and his fastball was consistent when he got to the fifth inning, which was really good to see. I think he'll be brought up sometime early this week, maybe against the Red Sox, maybe when they leave. I'm not sure, but he'll be up sooner than later. You had mentioned earlier in the podcast that Luke Raley is now officially starting his. I'm sorry, Nuke Raley is officially starting his rehab assignments. So that's really
Yeah,
good to see because we need him back. We need him back because he can be an option at first and right field.
yeah,
Um, I don't know where he fits on the roster right now. I don't know who would be the odd man out, especially if Canzone keeps hitting. But that'd be interesting to see.
right. Yeah, he'll be back sooner than later, so even he's a first
Yeah,
base option. Tellez is the odd man out, dude. Get him out of
yeah. I mean, from what you said earlier, it's not a bad idea. You got a left-handed first baseman option. Tellez is the left-handed first baseman option. Who would you rather have in that equation? I'm picking Nuke Raley.
there. Exactly. Yeah, me too. Yeah. So if he can get back sooner than later, Tellez is gone. Rayleigh at first, and obviously, he can play right field, but I
Hmm.
say he's your main first baseman, and then Solano wants to get in there. Rayleigh can go to right field. So
Hmm.
better.
Easy as that.
Yep.
No, it's good because we've had so many injuries this year. There's been
Yeah.
a bunch of our rotation up and down. Miller back down, by the way. If that was also new in the last 2 weeks from when we last recorded. Um, Miller's back down, and we just need these guys back. So seeing Luke Raley come back and do his rehab, I don't know how he's playing. Did he get a hit at all last night? I didn't check.
Yeah, he had a single
Okay,
last night. I think a strikeout, a single, and I can't remember, but I know he had a single,
yeah,
line drive single, yeah,
that's good.
and a run scored. Harry Ford hit him in.
Sweet. Hey, just saying, Mariners. Just saying,
Yeah,
hey, it works down there. Why can't it work up here?
exactly. Same team down there. Got Rayleigh,
That's right.
Tavares, Harry Ford. So
Yeah, it's just we're in that time of the year where we need to get these guys healthy again. Luke Raley coming back from an oblique strain is going to be it's going to be a longer rehab assignment than just a week. He's probably going to be down there for a week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe not, maybe even three, especially if Dominic Canzone continues to play at a good caliber. So
hmm
yeah, it's I mean a lot of things going on. Let's hope we can keep it up and start winning some ball games because man, that stretch was rough.
really rough. Ah, dude, my God, I know we were both pissed. I mean, yeah, we've got to
Yeah.
pick it up. But looks like we're playing good the past 2 games. The offense is coming back, and yeah,
I keep refreshing my screen wanting to see the lineup so we can go over it,
I mean
but
it's
it hasn't popped up just yet.
10 o'clock. It should be
Here,
up.
I think this is a good way to end the episode. We know that this is the end game of the 3 game series against the Guardians. Um, a good team, mind you. So we're playing against a decent team right now. We always play better against the good teams for some reason. But
Yep.
um, the lineup has been loaded.
Oh, let's
The lineup
go.
is in. This is not an this is an interesting lineup. You're not going to like this, but okay.
Oh boy,
So
I haven't
let's
seen
get
it
our
yet.
predictions for the game. This is the first big shakeup I've seen Dan Wilson do.
Really? Okay, I'm
Um,
pulling it up. Hang
and
on.
yeah, let's go over this together because there's a few names that we just talked crap about for a while in the lineup.
Oh boy. All right, I got it up.
So we got J.P.
What?
Crawford leading off. He's
What?
just on a tear, almost batting 300. We got Julio,
Yeah,
Rowley, and Polo,
I love JP
two to
Crawford again.
four.
JP Crawford,
Dude,
I love you. I'm sorry
we
about
needed
anything
him to hit
negative
this
I
so
ever said
bad.
about you.
I'm sorry I called you the bust of the year, man. I'm the bust of the year. Okay.
Dude, he's pissed. He heard that, and then
Yeah,
I watched this.
talking tridents.
Yeah.
Then we got our Rosarine in the 5 hole, and then we proceed to end our lineup with these lovely 4 guys: Tellez,
This is
Garver,
the worst bottom of the lineup I've ever seen in my
Canzone,
life.
and Master Boney. Um, that's
Bro,
rough. I
that is.
think Dan Wilson said, "Hey, we won our 2. Let's just play the 3rd game and have fun, guys. Let's go out there and just have fun."
What kind of mindset is that? He must be, because what the hell? And see my point again, Dylan Moore's not in the lineup. Oh, but you have Miles
Master Boney,
Mastrobuoni in the lineup.
Garver,
And
Tellez.
I
Yeah,
mean Dom Canzone, I mean, I don't he's been hitting well since he's come up. And he had that hype home
the
game 9
Italian
home run.
stallion.
Yeah. So That I'm fine with, but dude,
Yeah.
Tellez, Garver, Mastroboni, God, that's rough. Two,
I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna call the game right now. Okay, it's like you said. It's 10:02 right now. I'm calling the game. We're gonna win 7-6. It's gonna be a close game again. It's not gonna come down to the last inning. We're gonna be leading going into the ninth. I think J.P. Crawford's gonna hit a home run. I think Mitch Garver's gonna strike out 3 times,
that I
and
agree with.
I think Dominic Canzone's gonna be the offensive guy of the day. So
Really.
that's my prediction. 7-6 M's. They're gonna sweep the Guardians, moving into the Red Sox series. Let's go. Let's go, Mariners.
All right, I like it. Let's do it. I don't
And
agree, but let's do it.
with that, thank you for watching the Talking Tridents podcast. If you have any comments about the things we said, make sure to let us know down below. We'd love to hear from you guys, and we've gotten a lot of responses recently. We really appreciate that. Um, Drop Mitch Garver. Thank you for watching. Bye.
We've made it over 50 subscribers. Thank you. On the road to
Thank
100
you.
subscribers. I know it's small, but it means a lot. And
Oh,
we're going to keep pumping out Mariners content because we love this team, even though we're pissed every day in and day out. But it's a love-hate relationship, and it's a passion.
hey, this is a toxic relationship we have going on, but guess what? We're here for it.
Yeah.
Quick note on the subscribers. If and when we do hit 100 subscribers, we're going to do some type of giveaway. I have a lot of memorabilia from the early 2000s, and I think that'd be kind of fun to make it happen. So if you guys want to keep hitting that subscribe button, tell your friends about us. Once we hit that 100, we're gonna do something fun for you guys. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Drop Mitch Garver.